it's important because it's a traveller's culture, like, and for them to come together and be in this group, like, it means a lot, you know.
Yeah. We're trying to get going. We're trying to get going. Like, there's a course going. Tom have started here now for ferrying, from shoeing horses to grooming horses to jogging them to having them fit for all their education, let's say, for the younger people coming through as well. And if we have if these proper traveller courses are run by travellers and they can pass on their knowledge and experience to young, to be a lot neglect and things like that be cut out altogether as far as we're concerned. From shoeing them to grooming them, jogging them, having them fit, things like that.
The right way, like, you know.
Everything the right way.
Right way, boss.
You know what I mean? Like, because there's years experience. Let's say, like Tom have years experience. I have years of experience at heart, and we can pass on our knowledge to younger people as well. And if the courses that we're having, we're hoping that we can do this with each other, like, you know what I mean? All within the
build out, like, yeah.
Build out.
The fire course is going well there now. There's a lot of lads well into it, you know, and they're learning away off of it the whole time. It's going on for 3, 4, but 6 weeks, near enough 6 weeks, like, and they're all learning off it the whole time, you know. They're building off it the whole time.
Tipperary is the first county in Ireland that actually travellers. This is a traveller-run project, and it's the first one in Ireland that we know of.
We know it was at the travellers running it.
Yeah, Tom's the spokesman, I'm the treasury, and the scone, who know better what travellers need or what they want to run than travellers? Than, let's say, a person that could have the best attention in the world, but he don't have a clue about travellers or horses really, and he'd be trying to say, well, you need this and you don't need that. Travellers know what we need.
If they walk with us, it mean twice as much is those walking against us. Like, if they walk with us, we'll all help together and everything will walk together, you know, come together, like.
Yeah, we're
is a will against us, like, what?
Yeah, we're more than willing to work with everyone. Let's say, for everything to work together. We're happy to work with the guards, with the councils, with the pedestrians, with the roaders, but they have to respect us as well. Like, we will show them a respect. Like, we're willing to work with everyone.
We're willing to work with everyone
and show everyone respect. But we want respect back. And this crack where it's coming up, this hobby, it's not. It's a way of life for us. It's our culture. It's there for hundreds of years. And as far as we're concerned, please God, it'll be there for hundreds of years.
Hundreds of years to come, yeah.
Go back in the 1970s and up to 79, all our lifetime, we had kept horses and travelled around in wagons, cars. We had no motors, only horses. And we had to have so many of them to change them, because they'd be on the road every day. You have to have different horses every day to yoke. But we went to Dublin back in 1979, and we drove the horses from Clonmel to Dublin. Like, we didn't do it in the one day. We took our time, going up and maybe a month to get up there. Yeah. And Dublin was an awful place of horses that time. There was thousands of horses. And we had horses up there. We used the horses all the time, regularly, constantly used the horses. But when we left Dublin and came back down to Thurles, we still had our horses. And settled people don't understand the culture of the travellers with the horses. They don't understand the value of horses to travellers. Or when you go to the council, they give you a lovely house, lovely new house, but no place for a horse. Why do you want a horse? If a travelling man got a house and to stay in a house without horses, he'd end up in St. Luke's down Clonmel in a few days without horses. Because, like, they can't settle without horses. That's their whole. Even the children coming up, the younger little fellas, driving the horses and yoking them and training them and showing them. That's their culture, that's all they know, horses.
Down around here in summer's morning at 6 o'clock, winter's morning 8 o'clock. And during the day and back in the evening again. The ones you'll be driving, you'll be looking to have at least 10 times a day, because you can be close with you. It's just easy as loose down here, there's no further than plenty of grass, plenty of water, and all you got to do is keep checking.
It's grand, it's lovely to see the children. Like, travelling children are one, most of them with horses. Like, you can see the bond with them from that size up.
You will, of course,
Up until they die.
Right.
An uncle of mine, he died a couple of years ago, 3 years ago. The day before he died, he was at a drive on a road car going around.
That's right, yeah.
That was the day before he died, and what you call it, that's it. And we're going to be the same way from we're that height until we die. We're going to be with horses every day, and there's no one going to take that away from us, as far as we're concerned.
No.
I think, like I said, in terms of I suppose, travelers traditionally have had a long association with horses, and in many cases they're maintaining or do attempt to maintain that link, that tradition. And yes, I would have to accept that you talk to traveller families, no matter what age, the horse owners, particularly, young or old, you can almost see, that physical almost contact between the people and their horses that clearly, if that's not facilitated in some way, that it does have an impact, and clearly has to have an impact. I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, but when you can certainly see the relationship between, and not just I think in terms of the travel community, but I think anyone who has a love of animals and horses in particular, there is almost a soothing effect of the horse, even if it's just purely on to calm somebody down or to relax somebody. So I can imagine somebody who's grown up with that, who's grown up with that in terms of owning horses and being reared with horses, that there's clearly a connection. And if you do break that connection, if you don't facilitate it in terms of accommodation, provision, or other provision made, that can only have an impact on your health. They can only have an impact on your physical, but certainly on your mental health.
Some fellas been horses. They got rid of them. They when they thought they were worth nothing. Like, look, in the middle of the summer, I'm still buying hay feeding them. And there's land going to waste all over the whole country.
It's wicked hard for travellers to get land for horses, yeah. It's wicked hard because the council or the corporation, they want to reply on what land they're like, do you know what I mean?
Land that's going to waste.
There's a lot of land going to waste in other places, like, and they could be used, That's the way it is.
You prefer to land going to waste instead of
Prefer to
working
land
with
going to
us.
waste, like, yeah.
We remember in our thing there's over 200 members now already. We promote horse welfare, haven't we?
Welfare, that's right, yeah.
Children's safety.
Safety and road safety.
Yeah, and also for other people as well, users of the road as well, for their safety as well. But we'd like if they respected us as well. You get a lot of that character, we don't.
They don't respect the driving of the road either, like,
Yes.
It with the horses, like.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of lads in the cars don't respect them. The drivers as well as some of the lads.
It's a two-way thing.
It's a two-way system.
It's a
like,
two-way thing. Like, we don't show them respect, but we expect to get back as well for safer roads for everyone.
That's right.